All right. Looks like we're good. Green light. Microphone is working. Okay. Everybody, welcome. It is the Naked and Famous Denim live stream. Bienvenue. Bonjour, mes amis. En français, s'il vous plaît. Oui. My French is terrible, by the way. I gotta learn some more French. I gotta learn more Japanese.
Really. Yes, I think really that's your priority.
My priority right now. Good morning, everybody. We are streaming live here from Yokohama, Japan. My name is Bahzad.
I'm Risa.
And we're here, your representatives from Naked and Famous Denim. We're gonna text you. We're gonna mumble words and talk to you guys about all things denim and probably some random stuff today. So welcome to the chat, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us here again. Let's give them a moment here to populate. And in the meantime, let's see where everybody's checking in from. We've got Vince Chan. Greetings from Vancouver, BC. Welcome. Johnny Crumhorns in the house. Max, hello from Denver, Colorado. We've got Jeff Douglas. Evening from Olcott Beach, New York. Never heard of that place.
Olcott Beach?
Olcott Beach. Sounds like a nice place.
Yeah.
Invis Ian's DC is in the house. Rice W5, welcome. We've got Rice W5 checking in from Birmingham, UK. Shane Delahunty, as usual, checking in from Vancouver, Washington. Hello. Greetings to all. Danny Peterson, hello from Middleburg, Ohio. Middleburg, is that in the middle of Ohio? Maybe. James Cardenas, hello from the USA. Welcome, USA. America. Thank you for representing. Carl Inman, hello from Bend, Oregon. Thanks for tuning in. Mad Hatter writes, I just tried my first raw denim pair of jeans, unbranded 22 ounce, and I can't even button them. Got confused. The size chart and the tag size confused me. I have to return them and try again. Mad Hatter, that's a part of what can I say? It's
buying jeans online.
Yeah, that's part of buying jeans online. Sometimes we all go through that one. It's like a rite of passage, I think.
Also, I just want to point out that it's your first pair of raw denim, and you went with 22.
Yeah,
you're very brave.
You went with the hardcore one. But, yeah. Let's start off by providing you with maybe some tips. I'm sure it's going to help some other people as well who are getting into raw denim for the first time, or some people who are getting into raw denim for, the nth time. Some people are lucky and, they order online. They don't check those size charts, or, if they're used to buying a 34, they buy a 34, they get in everything. It works out for them. For some people, that's great. For other people, it is not as straightforward as that. And the tag size and the waist measurement size can be a little bit confusing. And I think where most of the confusion comes from is the fact that, generally speaking, I think a lot of people believe that the tag size that's in your jeans that you own corresponds to your actual waist measurement. This is not the case, right? We've all heard of this term vanity sizing, and some of it has to do with that. Some of it has to do with, I guess it's a long topic, but depending on how you want the jean to fit, if you want the jean to fit big on a tag size 34, it'll fit big. Some people do that for vanity reasons. Some people do it for styling reasons. There's a lot of different reasons for that. But the bottom line is that the size that is printed on the label of your jeans doesn't correspond actually to anything. It doesn't tie to anything between brand to brand to brand. That tag size, whether it's on your bottoms or on your top, it's like a size small in one brand.
Exactly.
It doesn't. Yeah. I think most of us understand that a size small on a shirt from one brand isn't going to be the same as a size small on a shirt on another brand. And I think because
it's a number of letters, like people think that it means like a lot more than it actually does. And what it does is that it's just a size indication.
Yeah.
You can maybe guess, like, if you're looking at jeans and, you don't want to, like, look through all of it to consider all of it, you probably can have a range.
Yeah, you'll be in a range.
Yeah,
right.
If you always wear size 32, check the measurement under what we call 32 and see if it's any different from what your regular jeans are.
So what we definitely recommend people do is, if you're buying a pair of jeans online, you want to make sure that the place that you're buying it from has a measurement guide. And even if they don't, maybe another website has the measurement guide. Go and check it there. That's fine. Tate and Yoko, we provide all the measurement guides if you want to buy from Tate and Yoko or not. That's, it doesn't bother me. If you don't, you're free to shop anywhere you like. Double check that chart. So you'll see, take the jeans that you own and follow our measurement guide. We have instructions in a blog post form. We have it in video form. Measure your jeans exactly the way we measure our jeans, and then write down those measurements that you have. So the waist, the front rise, the back rise, the thigh, the knee, the inseam, write all that stuff down. And because you're measuring a pair of jeans that you already own, you know how they fit, you can take those measurements and then compare it to measurements on the website, right? So compare it to different fits. So you can see that, hey, the rise on the jean I'm looking at online is a little bit higher than the rise of the jeans that I own. So you can know that they're going to fit a little bit higher on the waist for you, right? Or that thigh measurement, right? Is it bigger or smaller than the jeans that you own? So,
or stretch. If you're measuring jeans that have some stretch, you may want to go a little bit larger measurements.
Yeah, if you're right. So you have to stretch. Kind of is a little bit of a monkey wrench, but swerve a little bit on the larger side. If you're considering stretch.
A little bit on the larger side if you're coming from worn in washed jeans to raw jeans, just because the raw denim, it's the nature of it is it's raw, so it will probably shrink a little bit more than what you have that's already been washed so many times, first of all, and second of all, it's going to be more rigid, more crispy, more perhaps heavier. So you need a little bit of a
buffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's it. With the shrink on most raw jeans, if it's a Sanforized jean, it's gonna stretch back out, right? Every now and then I get an email from a customer, hey, I just washed my jeans for the first time and now they don't fit anymore. Don't worry, they're gonna stretch back out, right? Unless it's an unsanforized pair, and when it's unsanforized, we definitely mention that. And what we'll do on an unsanforized model is that we'll have two size charts, right? So we have the size chart for raw, and we have the size chart for post-soak measurements, right? Now, some people never ever wash their jeans, right? So that's why we have those raw measurements. And then there are people who, with an unsanforized denim, as most people should, I wouldn't say should, you do whatever you want, but a lot of people, most people will take that unsanforized jean, pre-soak it, not pre-soak it, but soak it before they wear it, shrink it up, and so we have those shrink measurements. If you're looking at an unsanforized denim and you're planning on washing or shrinking that jean before you wear it or even after you wear it, pay attention to those post-soak measurements. And when we do those post-soak measurements on unsanforized jeans, we go absolutely balls to the wall, wash it in hot water, dry it in the dryer on high. We should get as much shrink out of it as possible, so there's no surprises later on. But even then, you're still going to get some amount of stretch back out of that fabric.
Yeah, and also just know that it's not an exact science. So we try to do the harder test, but if you do the same way, you wash hot and you tumble dry hot, maybe yours might shrink a little bit more. Yeah. It's not at the absolute ceiling that we're showing. Yeah. It's no, a lot of people asks us oh, this jean shrink? And we generally answer it in the same way, yes, it will shrink like any other cotton garment, but this one's Sanforized or blah 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 or whatever. But there is no way for us to say well, if you wash this way, you're gonna lose 0.7 inch in the waist or whatever. Some people want the exact, and it's I can't tell you the exact. If it comes down to that, that, then it's too small or it's too big, or like you're looking for a tailored fit, and we don't.
But even then, even if you were to get a tailored fit, it's never going to come out. Like, we're not precision tooling, precision machining, parts, right? There's always going to be variances with fabric,
and fabric is never that precise.
Yeah, fabric stretches, fabric moves, it shrinks, it does all kinds of stuff. So if you're ever in the point where point, half an inch is going to make or break the fit, it's it's not. Half an inch is not going to make or break the fit. Anyhow, that said, just another point, because I do get this email every now and then. People ask, are your jeans Sanforized? Right? And I tend to find that if you're asking that question, my interpretation of that question is you're probably new to this, and you are asking the right question. Like, you want to know. But if you're asking that question, it's probably because you might not know the difference between Sanforized and unsanforized. Like, on a deeper level, like, you've heard the word and you just want to make sure. Fair enough. But practically everything is Sanforized. Practically. The only time you see something that is unsanforized is when it is absolutely clearly stated. And if it's not, whoever is doing that, you're a maniac. As a brand, that's some advice. Probably you should probably mention that. But it's always Sanforized. Yeah.
It's kind of like asking, like, when you're renting a car at a rental place, not in Europe, but in the rest of the world, and asking if the car you're renting is manual. And it's like, no, it's not. It's a rental car. Like, unless you ask me specifically, I'm not gonna give that to you.
Yeah. Also, Europe, you're insane
for assuming that everybody rents. Also, I mean, the people who rent a car tend to be a tourist or traveler.
Yeah. I found we were in Scotland once. We rented a car, and they brought us the car, and no, I don't drive. I don't have a license. I don't really know how to drive. So Risa's driving, and they bring us the car, and it's a manual.
It's like,
and we're like, what? I'm like, I thought it was bizarre for like that to be a presumptuous, like.
It's also an airport rental car.
Yeah.
So like the chances of you getting a foreigner who don't drive manual is very, very high.
Yeah.
So maybe mention that next time.
Yeah. So anyways, back to the Sanforized thing. Presume it's Sanforized. That's a fair assumption. Because if it's not stated that it's unsanforized, or if it's unsanforized one wash already or Tempi Treated, like for any of our Tempi Treated garments, like our made in Japan stuff, we always write it's an unsanforized. In the product description, we'll explain it's an unsanforized item, but it's already been treated to remove all the shrink, so that we have that unsanforized texture, but you don't have to worry about the shrinkage later on. So it's there. It's always written. Hey, it's okay to be cautious and to double check. That's fine, I understand. But if you're learning about raw denim, you're joining the live stream to do that. That's a fair assumption. You don't have to send that email. I mean, look,
unless you're really suspecting this is an unsanforized denim, unsanforized denim.
Yeah, you don't have to double check everything, but it's no problem. But I'm just letting you know that. This is how it is. Anyways, hopefully that I don't want to be like, don't send me dumb emails. No, it's fine. They're not dumb. Everyone is in a different stage of learning process. But I'm just trying to put that information into your brain. That's how it works. Okay. So sizing. Did we finish that thought, or did we meander too far?
I think we meandered, but I think everybody gets it. It's just that you gotta check your measurement, and you gotta kind of play with that numbers.
Yeah, right. The mistake happens mostly when you presume your size. I'm a 34, so I'm gonna buy a 34 across the board.
Yeah.
Right, and that might work for you sometimes. It's not gonna work for you every time.
Here's my question though. This is like a general wondering. I don't have an answer to.
Okay.
But it's like if everybody assumes that my waist is measuring at 34, so I'm gonna buy a 34 34 size jeans.
Yeah.
Why are we still getting people who are like majority of the returns are too small? Because you would imagine, because if you have 34 waist, the chances are like the jeans in size 34 that you get is 2 inches bigger.
No. See, what happens is they own a size 34, so they presume their waist size is 34 inches, right? And then they look at the measurement guide and they see a size 32 has a 34-inch waist measurement.
So they realize that it's not corresponding to the waist there, but you believe it's so strong that your jeans...
They've been confused by... They've overcomplicated the whole raw denim thing. And there's so much of this size down, size down, size down. Luckily, it's died down a lot, but there's still... Sometimes I see, odd things permeate on forums and things like that. Or, people are reading old posts or whatever it is. There's all kinds of bad information out there. So what is happening is they believe that their non-raw denim, they're getting into raw denim for the first time. Their non-raw denim, that's not complicated, right? So when their tag size is 34, they're a 34. I'm comfortable in a 34. I always buy a size 34. But raw denim, somehow there's a magic science here. There's a lot of folklore. So I gotta do it the right way. Size down. I see the tag size 32 has a waist measurement 34. I'm buying I'm now a waist size 32, right? I'm now a tag size 32. They get it. They put it on. Obviously, they don't fit. And they're like, that's bad. And it's a bad experience for everybody. Like having that as your first raw denim experience. I know we've got a customer here. It's not the best. You spent a lot of money. You bought a pair of jeans. You're excited for it. You got it. Doesn't work. Nobody wants that, right? I understand the frustration. That's why we do these live streams. Hopefully we can educate and let people know how sizing works. It certainly is not as complex as people make it out to be. And right now it's a lot of kind of undoing some of the bad information that's out there. And hopefully, for any of the people in the chat here who happen to be on forums, please provide this information, when there's, if you're active on the forums and people ask about sizing, try to share this information. You could even share, this video and let people know that, this is how sizing works. And it doesn't have to be so complicated. And, part of those live streams is to take away the complexity that some people think is part of raw denim. And, it's not so complex. It's actually a very, very, just wear your jeans. Get the right size, right? Buying anything online can be complex. I understand that. It's not just jeans,
Jeans especially because, tops are like a little more forgiving. There's only like 5 sizes, whereas
I guess that's true.
But,
or
12, 13 sizes.
Or shoes could be, I'm sure, like in the boot game.
Shoes are even harder because if jeans are a little bit too big, it's fine. If shoes are a little bit too small or too big, both of those things are bad.
Yeah, but with the boot, like the high-end boots, there's all like these custom orders, like pre-order, and if you don't get your right size or they don't make them, like I don't know what the exchange policy is for those kinds of things, right? Right, there isn't. It's like because they make them to order,
right.
And if they didn't make your size to spec or whatever, I'm sure they'll accommodate you in some way. But like, how do you then get? You have to hope that they have another person who has a boot to swap with you, and you've waited all these months for it. Woo! I don't want to be in that game. I like making products that are ready.
Yeah.
I like making products that are ready. But yeah, if there are any questions about this stuff, any folklore, any myths that you want us to bust, let us know, and we will bust them myths.
Yeah. There's a lot of good questions. Somebody mentioned blanket lined release and the lack of chore available.
Yeah.
So we just want to mention that we did just release blanket lined denim today.
Yeah.
for
the
Friday.
Kimono shirt and the jeans came out today.
Yeah, the jeans, super guy, weird guy, easy guy, and the woman's classic, and then kimono shirt. The chore quote is not here, but we will get them, right? So like, it's going to be a later release.
Yeah, it'll probably be in the earlier. It'll be in Q1. How about that? I'm gonna start saying Q quarters. It'll be in Q1. It'll still be wintry outside when it comes out. Bear with us. We'll have more release information on that as we get it. This is going to be a bit of a recurring theme for if any of you guys ask us where is this or where is that, the answer is Q1. Q1 is the answer. Okay.
Unless you ask us about spring stuff, then everything is going to come in.
We've got our spring samples on the way. So we'll have probably for next week's live stream, we'll have some spring samples to show off for you guys. Mm-hmm. The website we'll have like half the website up. Probably next week. We'll see. We'll see how much. We got a lot of stuff to do. And I'll release the Spring Summer 23 preview video with the website flip. So it won't have all of the photos or anything like that. And some of the photos, it might just be like a product photo and not the on-model photo. So bear with us on that because we'll get all that stuff updated in Q1. More spring information is coming, and then we'll have some of the later fall-winter drops dropping in as well. BD asked a question, can you talk about the surprise drop of the red Weft dead stock? So that just came. So there were 3 surprise holiday releases.
It's not a surprise, but unannounced.
Yeah, unannounced releases that came in today. We've got the dead stock red Weft Selvedge. Mm-hmm. We've got the royal black, and we've got the Ultrasoft Stretch. Mm-hmm. So 2 of these are reissues. One of them is new. Mm-hmm. The dead stock red Weft on the pocket flasher, it says stretch. Does not contain stretch. Sorry, there were a few typos this season.
That is not a typo. That is just a mistake.
Yeah, it was actually my bad because I saw what I sent the. Because on my production list, I had it correct. I wrote red Weft Selvedge. Mm-hmm. Like all of the product, everything I wrote. But because I was sending our graphic designer guys just so much information, in my brain, for some reason, I typed out red Weft Stretch Selvedge instead of red Weft Selvedge. Mm-hmm. And obviously he went with it. And then when the proofs came in, I just looked at the graphics and I'm like, oh, good. Because sometimes I'm working too fast and I just zoom through things. And anyway, that's what happened. But I'm going to be more careful. Anyways, this is a reissue of the original red Weft Selvedge. So what's neat about it is the Selvedge edge kind of has like this greenish white red Selvedge ID. It's pretty neat. This is a fabric that's probably been in our warehouse for over a decade. We didn't make many of them. I think there's only like 80, less than 100 pairs between
across the fence.
Yeah, so across everything.
I mean, I think weird guy. I don't even know if they're still there. There was very small amount.
Yeah. So between Tata and Yoko and NYC and our Naked Famous Denim NYC, less than 100 pairs. It's the last of it. But yeah, I found a couple rolls in the warehouse. The last time we were there, and I'm like, okay, we got to make these. We got to use this fabric up. It's a great fabric. So
it's still there.
Okay, so it's still there. But if you're looking for a red Weft option, this is a great option for you. And
it's great because, like, obviously when we released that initially, long time ago, I wasn't there for that, but I keep seeing like the faded, pairs on the wall and the pictures, blah blah blah, and it's back.
Yeah, so it's back. It's back in the more updated fit. So the updated weird guy, it's updated in easy guy. It was never available in easy guy before. It's available in super guy. Originally, it came out in skinny guy, but great jean, 100% cotton. I think 12.5 ounce weight, rigid, with that beautiful red Weft interior. Super dark on the exterior, and then red. Like a nice crimson red Weft on the inside.
Look up faded pictures. Yeah, because there's some great ones.
Yeah, right. The other one that came out the royal black. And for people who are asking me for like sumi coated, this is kind of like that. To be fair, that's coming. But it's not coming next week. It's not around the corner. We're working on it. But this is kind of a carryover for so many people who are asking me for a black coated denim. This is a black resin coated denim on a indigo rope dye. Black resin coating on an indigo rope dyed denim. So appears black, looks black. That resin coating is gonna fade off. You're gonna get to that blue on the underneath. If you look up any of the original like sumi ink coated denim that we did many years ago, it's gonna fade like that. So a great like fun fading jean. I think price is like $155. So good price point on that guy. Not Selvedge, but that coating does add that extra cost, so just keep that in mind. So that one's really, really nice. And then lastly, the Ultrasoft Stretch. That I wish we had released it a month ago, which is when it was originally supposed to come out. But anyways, this is just a cozy winter stretch jean. It's fleeced on the inside, just like a sweatshirt. So it's like sweatshirts are either like loop terry or fleeced, but fleece is basically like they'll take that terry and they'll brush it so that the cotton puffs up. But it's a lightweight, high performance stretch with that fleece on the inside. So it's very, very cozy and soft. One of the most comfortable fabrics we've got available. Again, a great holiday gift item. I mean, shipping right now is a little tough, but if you're in New York, go into the New York store, pick it up. Or, I mean, if it's not for the holiday, you just want to wear it for the rest of the winter. Great fabric.
It's not a heavyweight, so no. I mean, it's good until, I mean, probably not for summer because it's
the fleece might be a little, but it is lightweight anyways.
Yeah.
You wear it, you decide, but I think it's a great fabric for the colder seasons. Those are the three kind of surprise drops, quick strike drops that just came out on Tate and Yoko today. Get them while you can. Enjoy them. They are some really wonderful fabrics. Michael Udall wearing my Loom State Natural Selvedge today. There you go, Loom
Nice.
State. So you got the unsanforized denim option there. Somebody asked a question. I don't know who asked it, but it was basically, what's the difference between Tempi Treated and One Wash? They're very similar, but they're a little bit different. So a One Wash is going to go through a commercial wash. So basically, there's your washing machine that you have at home, jab it full of steroids, and it grows to imagine Power Rangers, Rita Repulsa throws down the thing, make my monster grow. Right? You got it.
That's it.
That's scientifically, that's how it happens. They take your washing machine, they grow it huge. Your washing machine at home could probably handle like 5 pairs of jeans inside. This thing can handle 50 pairs of jeans inside. And it goes through a commercial wash. It washes all the starch out, and then they dry it in a commercial dryer, which is the same thing. Rita Repulsa with the thing, make my monster grow, dries your jeans. Tempi Treated, it's more of a soak, hang, dry situation. So it's more like what you would do at home if you didn't use the washing machine. So The fabric ends up being much crispier than you would with a one wash jean.
Yeah. And you get it's like,
it still feels raw.
Yeah. Tempi literally means like natural sun. So it's it's dried. It's literally dried under the sun, which I think is a nice thing. And if you have dried anything, from the laundry, directly to outside, you will realize that things tend to get a little bit crispier. Rather than, because it's not going through the motion of
the tumble drying.
So that keeps that rawness, I think, and it's a very nice treatment.
Yeah. So there you go. That is the difference for you. If you have another question, follow-up question, let us know. We'll handle it. Salsa asked that question. Can you explain the difference between Tempi wash and regular one wash? Well, there you have it. Okay, Michael Udall, are you going to do an end of the year video? Maybe. Maybe.
Almost the end
it might. It is almost the end of the year. If I can't do it with Brandon, I'll do it here with Risa. We'll talk about the year. Interestingly enough, the next live stream for us is going to be Christmas Eve. It'll be the 23rd for many of you. It'll be the 24th for us, and that will. Oh, the 30th will be the last live stream of the year. 31st. It'll be the 31st for us. It'll be the 30th for everybody. So we got 2 more live streams this year. 2 more. Unbelievable.
Jesus.
The year is going by fast.
I just remember like last week. It feels like last week that you promised everybody that you will not buy any more shoes this year, and that was at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And so far, so good.
So far, so good.
Only 2 weeks left.
I spent a lot of money on other things. I got some new headphones. You guys want to see my new headphones? Check out these bad boys. So anyways, just because I didn't buy shoes didn't mean I wasn't reckless.
Yeah. But we can all agree that promise feels like a couple weeks ago.
It does.
So this year just...
Zoom by. Francisco Michael, Christmas special stream next week.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It would be, we gotta get our Santa hats.
Yeah, we'll get our Santa hats, and we're gonna have some, Christmas presents for you guys in the stream. So we'll figure it out. Just like last year, look, be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber right now, okay? Last year, somebody snaked in at the end, subscribed after they won. Anyways, we let it happen because I'm a caring, loving person.
Yeah. Well, we didn't remind you guys enough. Yeah. We're doing that now.
So subscribe to the channel right now, this second. You gotta be a subscriber to win. We'll have some Christmas gifts next live stream for you guys. We'll do a couple of giveaways. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll figure it out before then. So tune in, be a subscriber, and we'll try to make some Christmas wishes come true. Okay. BD, my birthday is Xmas Day. We'll be making the stream part of my weekend. Woohoo. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for spending your Christmas and your birthday with us. Appreciate it. We'll be here. We'll be here for you guys too. Okay. Leonardo Roca writes, is the MIJ10 going to be Tempi treated? Mm-hmm. Yes. So all of the MIJ stuff, all of it, 100% of it is unsanforized, Tempi treated. So we can preserve that unsanforized texture and look, but you don't have to worry about that shrinkage. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to buy right away. Of course, we put up those measurement guides, but there isn't a pre and post soak measurement because the shrinkage is already gone for you. That said, just like sanforization, Tempi treating, it doesn't remove all of the shrink.
Especially because we're starting with unsanforized.
Yeah, with unsanforized, shrinkage rates for an unsanforized fabric are like between 5 and 10%, sometimes more.
Like 8 and 10%.
Yeah.
Probably.
Sanforized goods, it's usually between 1 to 3, sometimes 4%. So that's considered shrunk, mm-hmm. right? So again, sometimes people are like, oh, well, that 1/4 inch is going to make all the difference. I'm like, your jeans are going to, even if it's a sanforized fabric, your jeans are going to shrink a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to stretch out probably just as much, right? It's not an exact science.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting, I don't know how this definitely applies. Shrinkage is going to also vary depending on your washing machine at home, right?
Of course.
So like these are huge factors that contribute to like how your jeans are going to, wear over time depending on what you got. And when we were touring one of the mills in Okayama just the other week, we were just going through, every step of the process, the production process, just, taking it all in. And these washing machines and especially these dryers caught my eye, and they were Kenmore. And I'm like, there's no Kenmore in Japan. There's no I'm like, and especially like you don't understand, like a dryer in Japan, just a dryer on its own, unless you're buying it from like Bosch or like Miele, even then, like, dude, they're so expensive. They're just ridiculous. They're so expensive. Like a Kenmore dryer, I don't know what it costs in America, but it's like less than $800, I would imagine.
Probably.
Right?
I mean, to be fair, you don't really see like chore so often.
Yeah. That too. But like just the standalone American size dryer, I'm like, and there was multiple of them. I'm like, what's going on here? And they're like, oh yeah, one of the American companies we work for, they want us to fabric test everything on American machines. So they sent us all these American machines. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That was amazing. I thought it was cool. But yeah, like, I mean, even then, they took the stance of, we're just going to use the average American machine and base it on that. They're not using some high-end premium, we're going to temperature control to the, I don't know, all the fancy features in a dryer. But those are things that, will affect the way your jeans will shrink over time. Okay, Salsa, I have Tempi Treated jeans that fit baggier in the top block compared to my Sanforized Naked Famous jeans with the same measurements. I'm hoping to get some shrinkage after a hot soak. Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, depending on the fabric, depending on the weave, depending on the weight, those are other factors that are going to contribute to how a fabric is going to fit. If you've got a 21-ounce denim versus a 12.5-ounce denim, same measurements, they're definitely going to feel different on the body. So those are more things to consider. How loose the weave is, if it's a 2x1 fabric, 3x1 fabric, broken twill canvas, those things all factor into how that fabric is going to stretch and wear and move. So again, when it comes to the measurements, if you're right on the money, okay, that's for what you're looking for. If you have a jean at home, fits you perfectly, and you found a jean that basically matches those measurements, you'll probably be fine with that. So long as the other, the weight and the weave and all that stuff are aligned. But, if it's a heavier fabric, maybe consider going up a little bit in the measurements, right? Just to accommodate you.
Yeah. And measurement isn't the only thing that affects how you feel when you're wearing them. Like, sometimes you feel like, oh, this fits me a little snugger.
Yeah, snuggier
than like my other jeans. And then you compare the measurement, it might turn out to be exactly the same, because the fabric, like how you feel on your legs, is affected not only just by measurement, but also other things like stretch or like the weight or the weave or anything like that. So I mean, it's like, I think the bottom line is that like you don't want to be that close to the edge where like, oh, if it's any smaller, it wouldn't fit me anymore. That is a dangerous game. Like, you're probably much more comfortable playing the game of like, oh, this one a little smaller, fits me a little slimmer, but it still fits me.
Yeah.
And or this one's a little baggier.
Also a little bit bigger. I always prefer to wear my jeans a little bit looser. One thing I find interesting here in the like the Japanese raw denim, kind of community is like the love of big fits. Yeah, they really love. Yeah,
it's not the same demographic, so that's kind of why I think it's just like it's usually a little bit older men. Also they're into a little bit more heritage than like
the average Western consumer. But yeah, like even still, like, even a looser jean, so long as it's got the right drape, I find that, like, you could wear a looser jean if it has the right inseam, right? If it is too long and it starts to bunch up and, like, look really weird on the rest of your body, that's when that looser fit tends to not look as good on you. But you can wear a jean that's a little bit looser, maybe not as form-fitting on the butt, as long as it's not bunching up from the bottom.
That is like the beauty and also the curse of raw denim, I feel, because like I think people really, really in raw denim community, the reason why people don't like, when things are too big, or like they're scared of going, larger in size, rather than they're much more comfortable going down in size and then like trying to stretch it out. It's because when the raw denim, rigid denim is a little bit big on you, it doesn't look that great. I give you that. But like once it's washed, once it's been worn and like softened, it's not gonna be an issue if it's slightly too big.
Yeah.
So it's just only a matter until you get to the point, which will come very quickly if you wear your jeans all the time.
Yeah. Like when I'm in the shop and I'm helping a customer, the second they come out of that change room, if they didn't cuff their jeans, I'm cuffing their jeans.
Right.
Because before they look into that mirror, they have to know how these jeans actually look on them. Because what happens is some people, they come out and that the bottom of the hem is just kind of touching the floor and it's just pushing all this fabric up, and it's like, these look awful. Like they don't look good. And sometimes I see fit pics, people putting it on Reddit and things like that, and they're in that same situation, like, how do these fit? And I'm like, terribly. And I'm thinking to myself, not good. Like, cuff that jean. Wear it like you would normally, right? You're not gonna have, some people are afraid to hem their jeans. I don't know why. Some people don't like, maybe they feel like they're ruining their jeans or something. I don't know what it is. But some people are like, okay, I'm going to like quadruple cuff this jean. Maybe I'm going a little far. Double or triple cuff this jean. And like you get this super fat, thick bit at the bottom. Like just, if you're going to have a 3-inch cuff, just chop the rest of it off. You don't need all that extra fabric. It's just adding all this extra bulk. Mind you still get to the right inseam. It's just kind of bulky, I find, at the bottom. But yeah, if you don't have the right inseam, it's totally going to affect the way that those jeans look on you. So make sure that you do that. And if you have to, if you're not sure about your sizing, like Risa always says, our number one reason people return jeans is because they're too small.
Yeah.
It's very rare that somebody returns it because they're big. Just, if you're not sure, if you think, these are right on the money, you could roll the dice with on the money. You're gonna be okay if they're a little big, and if they're a little bit big deal. You're gonna wear a belt. You're gonna tuck in a shirt. You're gonna be fine. Just make sure that the right inseam. You're gonna look okay, and you're gonna be more comfortable.
Yeah,
you'll be more comfortable. Okay. The Raven. I couldn't agree more. The pant length is everything with a looser size. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not like when we were if you're my age and you're born in the 80s, and when we wore loose jeans, they all just dragged on the floor.
Yeah.
Mind you, we didn't wear raw jeans, but all of our
also our leg opening was much bigger, so like it tends to drag on the floor.
Yeah.
Now like the tapered is the mainstream, so when it's too long, it just bunches up rather than like drapes past.
Yeah, it doesn't drag on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I guess at my age, I grew up wearing.
Well, I mean,
I wore way, like, my jeans were like, they're ridiculous. They're huge, and so like even getting into a slightly looser fit than say like a weird guy, I'm like, oh, this is fine. This is not as baggy as they used to be.
Yeah, but also it's just like it's such a like. Everybody in our age group remember having jeans that are like just like
cancer
frayed.
of the jeans, I would call it.
Yeah, because of the times, because nobody was like wearing crop length either, and everybody was wearing wide enough leg opening that it would go past your shoes.
If you wore a cropped length jean in my high school, I was already the school freak. I was definitely the school freak. Everyone in my high school can acknowledge that. Whether they knew my name or not, I was the school freak. And I was I wore like, by the end of high school, I was wearing raver pants, but like even just before I became a freak, I was wearing like regular like baggy jeans. And like they were big. They were just big baggy jeans. And then I'm like, oh, look, raver pants. These are... Raver guy is no exaggeration of like what I would have worn in high school. I definitely wore jeans like that. So yeah, wearing skinny jeans and slim jeans now. Like I'm an adult, obviously. And I know how to dress now. Mind you, I feel like I dressed. Anyways, the way.
But it's of the time too. It's not that you didn't know how to dress. It's just like that was the look.
That was the look. That's it. Who else wore raver pants here in the chat? And glued their hair. Anybody else glue their hair? That was a good time. Dusty's rad title, double or Japanese cuffs here. What's a Japanese cuff?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. What is it?
Double or Japanese cuffs
like
here?
a very tall
or
cuff?
very skinny? Just
cuff?
I don't know.
Oh, like a small roll?
Yeah, like a small roll. What are we talking here?
I think small roll is not very Japanese, is it?
I don't know. I never considered.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Japanese cuff.
Yeah, I would like to know.
All right, you let us know, Dusty's rad title. Let us know. Okay. Francisco Michael, I was in the fray in the back of the cuff club. Yeah. Everybody was. I had.
Whether it was intentional or not, like everybody experienced that.
Yeah. I would let the back fray. So like it would be like, my shoe, just like a half like circle. Yeah. And then I would put a piece of fabric back there. And then I would let it eat away again. And then I would put another piece of fabric. So it would layer. Tree. Yeah. So it would layer up. So that was my first foray into customizing my jeans and repairing. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this, and I thought it looked cool because I would take another piece of. This is when I first got into raw denim. I would put another piece of raw fabric, so it would fade at different rates. I thought it was kind of cool, but it was disgusting because I lived in Canada and it was just salt stains and. Anyways.
Yeah. It looks cool. God, dragging your jeans in the snow and the salt and grub of the city. That's insane.
All of my jeans had like that salt rainbow on the back. That just it absorbed it all. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Dusty's rad title writes doubled over, but the chain stitch shows. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I didn't know anyone called it.
Yeah, that's a Japanese cuff.
Yeah,
huh?
I just called it a double cuff. But I guess with the chain stitch showing, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, interesting. White Lightning, aka Aqua. I call that cuff the Tokyo Turnup. The Tokyo Turnup. I thought you wrote. I thought he wrote because I was looking from far. I thought you wrote the Tokyo Trump. I'm like, what? Like, does he have his own cuff flipping method? In Japan? I don't know. Anyways, Dusty's rad title, yes, or the Tokyo Turnup. Okay, the turnip.
All right,
not the turnup. BD, college in Ottawa made me wash a lot of salt rainbows off. Yeah, if you live in the Northeast, North America, you know about salt stains in your jeans. That is just the way it.
Stains.
Dude, I got salt stains on my shoes. Just everything.
That ruins it. It's not a good.
It's not a great
guess
look.
It's necessary. Yeah. You'll be slipping all over the place.
Yeah. Nick Carpenter. I have jeans specifically for the snow now. I also stopped caring. Like I guess the last
about salt stains.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like.
No, I think we just all started wearing jeans a little tapered and a little shorter.
Yeah, that's it. They didn't drag on the ground. I'm just trying to think of like our last few years in Montreal. Like even though it was winter, like we didn't spend that much time outside. We also lived like 4 minutes away from the metro.
But also we could also go inside very quickly.
Like we didn't have to be outside from our apartment to the metro for more than like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was.
And then, the office was a little far away, so we would, have
sometimes we'd walk from the closest metro to the office, but if that bus was not very, didn't come very often. Anyways, living that bus life. John T, question about the new Blanket Lined Denim. The Weird Guy measurement guide waist size would suggest sizing one down from the typical Weird Guy. What do you think? I don't think you should size down or anything compared to anything. I think you should follow the measurements.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I think he says he's according to the measurement guide or measurements listed, like my size normally says 33, but it's like my measurements correspond to 32. But we did mention this in the Blanket Lined Denim video briefly. This is not a fabric that you want to be tight on your body. This is, it's a soft fabric. It's double weave. So it's just, it's, and there's not much really like stretch like the regular twill. So it's like you don't, first of all, this is a fabric that you probably want to wear a little bit big. And then second of all, it's not going to have as much give. So you probably want to keep the size that you maybe nobody wear. Do not size down.
But I just want to, I just want to like go a little bit deeper on sizing one down. Anytime someone, should I size down one? I forget all of that. Just to go according to the measurements. Go with whatever measurements on that particular style work for you. Don't say that, I usually wear this in Weird Guy, and so should I size down one in this particular style in Weird Guy? I'm never gonna give you an answer that says yes or no. Just whatever the measurements of that particular style are, that's the size you should go with.
Yeah, but this question in particular is like that. I don't think you should just blindly follow that measurement guide because of this fabric. I think.
Well, that's something to consider. That's definitely something to consider as well. But I mean, that is still a question that I get often. Like, I usually wear a 32 in Weird Guy. And this is obviously we're comparing Weird Guy to Weird Guy, but sometimes somebody might say to me, I wear a size 32 in Weird Guy. Should I size down one for Super Guy? I mean, that same logic applies whether you're comparing it the same fit or to a different fit.
No, but
my answer to that is always the measurement guide.
Yeah, but you get the idea behind this question, right?
It's the same logic.
No. So this guy, say, I'm only gonna talk about waist measurement just for the sake of simplicity. Say he wears a size 33 that says waist measurement is 34, right? That's what it is. And I measure my waist measurement of my size 33 in Weird Guy, and it measures out to be 34. In Blanket Lined Denim, it says that the measurement 34 applies to size 32 instead of 33. Should I go with size 32 because the measurement is 34 there? Is the question. I think. I mean, could clarify if I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. I think what this person is saying, John, you're going to have to clarify, is that I normally wear a size 34 in Weird Guy. And that the
measurement says that it is now a size. Well, if you go from 34, then maybe 33.
But my statement again is I never go with size up or down. I just go with the measurement guide. Always follow the measurement guide.
But he's saying like I normally wear size 33, right? That has a measurement of size 34. But now on this jeans, size 32 has a measurement of size 32 has a measurement of size 34 inches in the waist. So should I go with that?
Okay, even then, my answer still stays the same. Follow the measurement guide. Okay, because size up or size down, I will never.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're sending a mixed message, but I do strongly believe that even if the measurement in size 33 is the same as measurement in size 32 in this jeans, I think you want to go with size 33.
Right. So John writes, the usual 33 Weird Guy has a waist size of 35.
Yeah.
But on the blanket line, it's 36.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. But my answer is go with the measurements. Don't go with size up or size down. My answer always is go with whatever measurements fit you.
But consider the nature of this fabric. I that's what I can say. Because you're suggesting him to go with the measurement, meaning that he should buy size 32.
Well, I'm saying that he should go with whatever measurements work for them.
No, I understand
I understand considering the fabric, but the idea of size up, size down for me is just to me, that's blind picking, right? Like, it's like, oh, well, I should just size down here. No. Go with the measurements. And if that whatever measurements suit you, okay, now you're in the range. And if you say, okay, well, this fabric doesn't have as much stretch, so I'm going to accommodate that. I'm going to go with a measurement that's a little bit bigger for me. That's how I would, answer that question.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation, that I understand that maybe that's not the measurement that you think you need, but with this fabric you might need that extra inch. So I would recommend to stay with the size that has the measurement slightly bigger than what you have on your hand.
Yeah. Chris Knoll says, in saying go with the measurements, you are actually telling him to size down. Makes sense. That only makes sense if the measurements with the size down are actually the measurements that he needs. That's you see my point? That's why I never say size up, size down, because the size up, size down may or may not correspond. The measurements always correspond to what you need. That's my point. That's why I don't use size up, size down language, because measurement language is always the most accurate.
Yeah, but you're being very confusing in this case.
I don't think I'm being confusing.
All right. My recommendation personally is, like, go with your regular size, even if it looks like it might be a little bit too big on you. I think you could use that room with this fabric.
Fair. But am I wrong about size up, size down?
I think you really just, like, you're saying things that applies to certain scenarios that doesn't apply here.
I disagree, but that's okay. What do you guys think? Peanuts writes, Bahzad's talking about measurements, Risa's talking about tag size.
No. We completely understand each other. I think he just really dislikes the terminology that size up, size down, which I understand, but he used that size down as in, like, it's out of convenience. It's not saying, like, oh, I need this size, but I want to go size down.
Sure.
Like, that's not what he's saying.
Right. I understand the use of convenience. I just want to eliminate that language because it confuses people.
All right. John T., who asked the initial question, says you guys can move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's fine.
And I think everybody understands that here.
That's my last point. I don't want anyone to be confused by that type of terminology. 660. This sounds like my parents arguing the same point, but in a different context. Yes, sure. We're just, but this is it. I mean, look, we talk about raw denim. There's a lot of mysticism here, and certainly the way we talk about things can lead to, people interpreting it different ways, and even between us, right? And that's why we have to talk about it. That's why we have to put it out there. So, you can hear a lot of different ideas and how things work. Ray Tattooed Boy, does this mean I'm getting 2 Christmases? No. You're getting 1 Christmas. You're getting 1 Christmas, son. Don't worry. We're staying together.
Yeah, we're not gonna have 2 streams on Christmas Day.
The recess streams, we have opposing opinions, so we gotta have 2 different streams. How many holes does a straw have? 1 or 2?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'm gonna say 1.
I'm also gonna go with 1. It has 1 hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
1 hole.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought maybe you were trying to split us into 2 streams, but
no. He's trying to create a new argument. Yeah. I don't understand how anyone could think it has 2 holes.
I can understand why people would.
Oh, here we go.
but I think I'm gonna go with the idea that it is 1 hole.
Yeah.
1 hole.
Yeah, because
not 2 separate holes.
They're not 2 separate holes. They're one in the same hole. Yeah. Wait. So how many holes does a cup have? Also 1.
Cup.
A cup. The top is a hole. Yeah.
Interesting. Because
no, Because if you were to if it was literally, so what you're saying is that...
But is it a hole is a new question. Is it a hole if the cup...
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, is this a hole, or is it a dip?
It's a hole.
But then I think it affects your question with the straw question.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I mean, let's
a hole is a circular or some type of opening in an item.
Yeah, but is this an opening if there is no opening?
Yes, it's an opening. It's an open.
But it's just
but then, for example, at what depth is it considered a hole?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So then you would say a straw would have infinite amount, because depending on how thinly you could slice that, which is an infinite amount of times.
No, my argument for the straw is that, like, a hole is something that has an open that goes through, so that, like, it's one hole that would have two openings, whereas, like, but that theory doesn't really apply here if you think that cup has one hole.
It has
cup has a zero hole. It just has a depth.
Yeah. One hole, two ends.
That's my idea.
Brainstar, I turned in for the jeans talk. I stayed for the philosophical discussion. It's two holes in two different locations. Francisco Michael. I'm gonna say it's one hole, and the cup has one hole. They're both holes.
I say one hole for a straw and zero hole for a cup. Because you don't want a hole in your cup.
Well, you can't get something in unless there's a hole in the cup.
No, it's not a hole. It's a dip. It's a pocket.
It's a pocket. All right, it's a pocket, like a pizza pocket, right? Those are delicious. Everyone likes those. Mm-hmm. So there's no disagreement there, right? Are we gonna disagree on pizza pockets?
No, yeah. If you agree with me with the pocket,
I've never had a pizza pocket before. Hot Pockets, that stuff. You ever?
You have had one.
Pizza pocket? No, those
like the one on the plane that gives you the snack that you get on the plane.
No. So there's when we were growing up, I don't know if they still make this product anymore, but there are always these TV commercials for Hot Pockets, and I always like found those commercials to be funny because, anyways, the jingle was great. But no, I've never had that product.
Oh, yeah. Like specific.
Yeah. Hot Pockets. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you had the equivalent of it, like the generic version.
I mean, I had like a wrap, kind of, one of those things. But yeah. Lava hot sauce bomb. Chris Knoll. He knows what I'm talking about. It's like this little bun looking thing. And it's like, it kind of looks like a bow. And there's like pizza stuff inside.
Wow. Really? I was thinking more like like the like Japanese McDonald's apple pie, but with savory things.
Yeah. See, that's different, right?
Is it? I thought that was Hot Pockets.
Or like these pizza pops, like these things. I've never had one of these before.
Google Hot Pocket though. Because Hot Pocket is
Hot Pockets versus Pizza Pops.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I've never had this product before.
Yeah, but the generic version of it.
Sure. Okay. Speaking of pockets, I think your Chicago too. I think your Chicago too might have been local, huh? Pizza Puffs and Bosco sticks.
Bosco sticks.
At Francisco. I don't know what a Bosco stick is. Okay. Fava Zeroni. For Christmas, I want JoJo news or maybe even the first drop.
The drop isn't coming.
We
can tell you that.
So there's your news. Merry Christmas. It'll come probably Q2, 2023. Q2 2023. That's where I'm expecting it at this point. Okay, somebody's asking about the mugs. Mugs will not be ready for Christmas. They're on their way to Canada. They will be available late Q1.
Somewhere in the Pacific Ocean right now.
In the ocean right now.
Yeah.
I guess I was bad this year. No, you weren't bad. You just got your Christmas present. You're bad if you don't get a present. You got the news. It wasn't the news that you wanted. But you got the news. So there you have it.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No, you got it. So,
but yes, it's going to come. It's not one of those things like, surprise. Yeah. It's not a real thing.
Yeah. Vitaly writes, will you consider making Naked Famous jackets in the UB fit? Just bought 22-ounce UB jacket and really loving the fit. It's not something we've considered. I don't know, maybe. But it's not something in the works. Francisco Michael, what are your thoughts on suspenders? Ever thought about carrying them? I, for a while, wore a lot of suspenders.
Really?
Yep. In the late 2000s.
Wait, how old were you?
I was like 20. I was in my 20 to 25 age.
Okay.
I wore skinny suspenders because skinny suspenders were cool. And it was that whole...
Like, what kind of, like, with jeans?
With jeans.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would wear, like, a white t-shirt tucked in or whatever, and I would wear, like, skinny red suspenders or...
I can see.
I looked very hipstery. Mm-hmm. I was there. That was a good moment for me, I feel. And
that was a good moment.
We definitely didn't move to Japan with them, but probably in the office in Montreal, because we still have a bunch of our stuff there, there's probably a giant bag of suspenders because I got them from Diesel. I'm sure I have some leather ones. I had some Dior ones. I had some Diesel one, more than one Diesel one. I was working at Diesel at the time, so I had a bunch of Diesel ones. I had some from like Marc Jacobs, and I had a million colors. I loved wearing skinny suspenders with skinny jeans. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really cool.
Okay.
That said,
I don't think suspenders are so popular.
Not anymore.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I do see, like, I don't know. Like, Garrett wore the 40-ounce with suspenders because he had to. And it is a good item, I think. But I just don't see enough people wearing them to the point that we need to carry them enough. So.
Yeah, they're not. I remember one time we had a customer who like asked us to make jeans with suspender buttons, and I mean we did.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't think anyone used them as suspender buttons. I don't think anyone attached suspenders to them. I don't mind. I mean, look, if it's part of the look, sure. At this point, I think it's a lot more heritagey looking.
Right.
Or I mean, if you have to wear suspenders for your job, or it makes sense for you to wear suspenders. Yeah. I have no problem. I think they look good when they're done right. Like the way Garrett wears his suspenders, he wears them often. I think they look fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is a good item. It's just that, like, as a society, we kind of moved away.
It's just not as trendy as it once was.
Yeah,
that was a like. Yeah, I'm just trying to.
I mean, I do think that a lot of people actually wear suspenders. A lot more people wear suspenders inside of their suits. Sometimes, like, especially like. You're a little older and you just don't want your pants to fit so snug on your waist.
Yeah. That was me. I'm just showing a picture to Risa of like how I used to dress. And yeah, I had the hat too. I wore a little fedora. I used to wear a lot of fedoras. No, like, and I feel God.
No. I've seen pictures of you.
I was really into that hipster look.
I think a lot of people were too. Like, I mean, it was one of those things where everybody was. I think
it matched well with raw denim. I feel like that whole hipster, like it was raw denim and like button-up shirts, or t-shirt, and like Doc Marten shoes, or like even anything like. That kind of, I feel like that hipster stuff really, now that I think of it, that hipster stuff really led into the heritage wave. Because
definitely affected the raw denim for sure. Yeah. And raw denim turned into heritage because people I guess
people started dressing classically in a way with that hair, with all the hipster stuff.
Yeah, and
right?
I think people got into denim, and then there's this like just like things to talk about denim, and then people got deeper into it.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely think it helps. But yeah, that whole hipster vibe, it got a little out of hand. I didn't go too far. I didn't have like.
Also, definition of a hipster changed.
Oh, yeah.
Like hipster that you imagine now, they drink coffee and they have the handlebar mustache and they have like beard and they have
like, the curly mustache guy. That was a guy, and I didn't go that far.
But hipster initially was very different. Like it wasn't that. It was more of, I don't know.
Hipster's definitely changed, but I think the 2000s hipster that. With the triangle scarf and the fedora, maybe purple sunglasses, and by the time the purple sunglasses came around, I'm like, okay, that's it. Like, I'm not.
I'm out of the
game.
I'm
out of this. I'm not going that far. Probably, but yeah. I didn't think, but I did have those Kanye West shutter shades. Remember those?
Did you have it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel like I saw it.
I definitely owned them.
Wow.
It was not ironically. It was very much like, these are cool. But yeah, I probably wore those twice.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to address this question.
Okay, good question.
I can't read your name.
Zano Child M. Risa, I want to get my wife into Japanese denim. What's the most popular female cut?
I think right now our most popular is classic. Classic is, wider leg, straight jeans. So it basically drops straight from the thigh down, so there's no tapering. Pretty, it's not like a wide leg opening, but it's wide enough. If your wife doesn't like that style, it's also like it has the highest rise too. So it's very, as the name suggests, it's a very classic look. It's old school, like women's denim fit from, like basically from the start of women's denim, I guess, jeans. But if you don't like that, I think maybe Max is more of like a Max for me. It's like if you're, I think you mentioned that she's more on the curvy side. So if you're curvy, like Max will fit you like skinny with the very small leg opening. So if you're like a skinnier fit, I think Max is the way to go.
All right. Yeah. Max and classic. Very, very popular.
Somewhere in the middle is Arrow. So if you like a little bit larger leg opening, go with Arrow too.
Right. Chad writes, I guess Chad's having an issue with some rivets on his raw cotton pants. And then somebody wrote, should have sized up. And I think he might be thinking that might be an issue. Generally speaking, if the rivets have come off, it was probably an issue with us applying them.
Yeah.
So give us a message and we'll take care of that for you. You really, like, for a rivet to bust off, you really have to give it for it to come off like from wear and tear. Generally, you have to give that like a lot of force.
It's not just
it's
a little too small.
Yeah, if it's just a little too small, they shouldn't come off. If they're a lot too small and you force the hell out of them, okay, maybe. But just the way that the rivets are applied, they should really be in there. So if it came off like when you got them, there was a problem with the application. So we can take care of that for you. Okay. Salsa writes, my girlfriend is athletic and loves the Max jeans I got for her. It's a great fit. Right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Somebody wrote, I guess they're talking about hipsters. They rode fixed gear bikes over here. Rice W5. Suspenders mean something else in England. Do they?
What did they mean?
I don't know. Rice W5 is going to tell us.
All right.
The Catman. Definitely try if you can for women. My wife is pear-shaped, and I could get something that worked for her. Even Max was stretchy, but next time we're in Montreal, we'll hit Tate and Yoko and see more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like we talked about a lot of things about sizing today, and it is a very like difficult topic when it comes to women's jeans, because it's not like men's jeans. Like, not to say that like you should wear certain things the certain way, but like men's jeans tend to be like, if it's okay, if it buttons up and it stays up, that's that's acceptable. I think it's a very different standard in women's jeans. Women's jeans job is to supposed to fit in the right places, not fit too much in other places, make their butt look nicer, leg look longer, and all kinds of things. And then it's like raw denim is not really like a good solution to that. This is why I think I mean, raw denim for women is such a small niche market. But I think if you can appreciate like the the nature of raw denim, I think you can kind of, the reason why we make women's line is so that like it's not gonna fit everybody the perfect way, but I think it gives women more chance to fit into raw denim better, just considering like the massive difference between men and women's like lower body. So that's what we're trying to do. But again, like because we use 100% cotton or very little stretch denim, and we only have like 3-4 main fits, so it's if given a chance, try on the jeans. And that's definitely the best way to find your fit.
Right. Okay. Right 75. Speaking of suspenders, means part of women's underwear. We call them braces. Okay. I thought it would be something bad, like these gang people wear them or something like that. I thought, oh yeah, I shouldn't wear those. Part of a woman. It's kind of like in the UK, pants are underwear.
Oh, like
and so they call North Americans call pants, they call trousers. We call them trousers too, but pants in general are referred to as underwear.
Back in the days in Japan, pants means, I mean, it still means underwear, but it meant only underwear. Nowadays, pants is like pants in the same way that North America says, but it's I get that.
Yeah,
I don't know which part of women's underwear is suspenders. Anyways,
I don't either, but somebody does. Okay. Okay. Melody Murray writes, "I'm 5'8", 168 pounds, pear-shaped, and Easy Guy fits me perfectly."
Right. Yeah. So Easy Guy is a good fit for women too, because it has wider, like more room in the hips. Mm-hmm. So it tends to fit like a little bit, like the same way that like guy with bigger hip might want to try Easy Guy. I think women could definitely fit in Easy Guy too.
There is no men's or women's fits, really. Like whatever fits you is whatever fits you.
Yeah, but I mean, generally speaking,
like the max for like the max, like I would say that the max is kind of like the woman's version of Easy Guy. Like they're very similar fits in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
right?
Of the extreme taper, like very small leg opening with more room in the thigh.
So, even like for if you're the female that you're looking for jeans for, if you don't find something in like the women's collection, like the men's collection, there might be something for them as well. We have a lot of customers who, female customers, they come in, they buy Super Guy, they buy Weird Guy, they buy Easy Guy, like they come into the store all the time.
Yeah, we even have men who wear like our women's. The only difference is that like men's size only goes down to like 28, and then women's size only go up to 32 or sometimes 34. But and like even the back pockets on the women's jeans are often like with I think they're all like the men's size pockets now. No, high skinny is not.
But the classic Max and Aero all have the same size back pocket. So it's not even a matter of like, you wouldn't even know if you had them on your body, because generally I would find that like a women's jean, like the back pockets are gonna tell you whether or not they're, made for women or not. Yeah, and the front pockets too. Yeah, the front pockets on those fits are also similar to the men's. Like they're deep. Like the high skinny has the smaller.
Yeah, high skinny has like
the
almost
invisible
a fake,
pocket, the fake
almost fake.
Kind of, yeah.
No, it's real, but it's almost fake. Yeah. It's like this deep.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes people will mention that about ladies' jeans, like why aren't these pockets real? And the reason why they're not real is because generally they don't want them.
Yeah, you don't want them. Even if you think you might want them, like in high skinny, that's the reason why I make pockets deep in the like looser fit, like classic Max and Arrow. Even if like, some of them like Max and Arrow are not that wide, loose, so it shouldn't really have that deep pocket. But we keep it more of the we tend to use a thicker fabric, blah blah blah, whatever. But high skinny, you really don't want them. If we have the pocket deep, then you definitely show the pocket line in front of the thighs, and it's not a great look.
Yeah, it's when I worked in ladies wear, that was one of the most popular alterations for ladies trousers they were a little bit more fitted on the thigh area, and removing the pockets. Mm-hmm. That was one of the most common alterations we do. We'd hem them and then we'd remove the pockets. Mm-hmm. And
do you remove it completely, or so it like
they would take out the pocket and then they would sew that part shut.
Oh, okay.
Right. So like the pocket line would be there, but like they weren't usable anymore. Uh-huh. But yeah, it's kind of like you didn't want that crinkly fabric up there, and like you put your phone or something in there, especially at the time, like you had a clamshell phone that was thick, and it's just nobody wanted it. So
yeah, well, front pocket for women, I think a lot of people just grew up thinking that it is a pocket for chopstick, and that's it. Or like that's little purse things
for, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I hear you, ladies. We do have jeans with pockets in them, but certain fits, I think if we actually had the pockets, they would probably not be as popular. That's the unfortunate truth.
I am the pocket ambassador. I love pockets, and even me, I cannot, in good conscience, make the high skinny pocket bigger.
Yeah. Brainstar, it's so bizarre to me. One of the reasons I don't wear women's jeans is because of the non-functional pockets. Luckily, Super Guy fits me great. Well, there you go. Right.
But again, like the other fits have a pocket that is usable. Yeah. It's not as deep as men's.
Yeah. It sometimes it's just one of those things where it's like, there is a vocal amount of people who say, I want these things, but like the vast majority of the people who buy them, like they're not vocal about it like not being there, but they buy them because they're not there. It's just one of those things where you look at customer behavior versus like what people say.
Yeah.
And like
most people don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Take it for as is. And it's like, yes, like vocal minority is the ones who just
it's we hear you. We know your struggle. I'm just saying that this certain fits, like it's really only that fit, but that's because it's such a slim fit that I think anyways it's made the way it's made. Those are the reasons. Okay. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting to mention in this stream. No. There's no new previews. Blanket Line is here. Mm-hmm. You guys, anyways.
It's time of the year where, like, we don't have a lot of... I mean, to be fair, we just released 4
new jeans, but those are on the website now. We talked about that earlier in the stream.
There's no new jeans coming out next week?
Couple of weeks, yeah.
Or the week after, yeah.
So, guys, just so you know, this is what I want to talk about. In Canada, we celebrate something called Boxing Day, and that's on December the 26th. How it got the name Boxing Day, I don't know.
Somebody will know.
I'm gonna go with my made up idea of how Boxing Day came to be, and it is the one day of the year where the customer gets to physically fight the shopkeeper for the deal, right? Mm-hmm. And if you beat them up, you get the deal. So that's how Boxing Day in my opinion, came to be, and it became a tradition of.
Is it your opinion, or like, have you heard it somewhere?
No,
like,
I don't think I've ever heard.
Of any other.
I can't imagine. I just, what else could it have been? How did we get this name?
I thought maybe like you fight within amongst yourself, like customers.
No, that's Black Friday. Boxing Day is where you finally get to take it to these high prices. Let me get you. Rich people would box up gifts for the poor folks in a nutshell, I believe. Really?
Oh, boxing as in like boxing. Put it in a box.
I don't know.
Interesting.
What?
That's a good theory too, I think.
It's a fine theory, but if we just promote my theory, it then becomes the truth. If we just keep repeating it, everybody. So it was a tradition built on the poor's standing up to the evil shopkeeper and getting their deals.
We set out all the empty boxes from Christmas gifts. But then why does it connect to shopping?
Yeah, why does it connect to the deals?
Or maybe the 26th was just the Boxing Day where everybody throws out boxes. And then somebody just started.
Yeah. Francisco Michael, that's why Bahzad should be a politician. Say it until it's true. Just keep saying it until it's true. From the OED, the first weekday after Christmas Day observed as a holiday on which postmen, errand boys, and servants of various kinds expect to receive a Christmas box. But okay, I
get that name.
I'm also gonna say, like, why didn't you give it to him on Christmas? I know you're working, but didn't everyone get the day? Postmen get the day off on Christmas.
Yeah, that's why you come back to work, and then the bosses are like, throw away these boxes.
No. Receive a Christmas box, like a gift. They would get a gift on that day.
Oh, yeah. Then they should have given you the day before so that you can open it on the Christmas day.
Yeah.
That's me.
I still think it's fighting the shopkeeper, right? Shopkeeper, he's like, okay, let's do it. You've aggravated me all year trying to ask me for deals. You want the deals. Let's just settle this like men and duke it out in the ring. I like it. Okay. It seems fair, And at the end, you shake hands, and you conduct some business, and you
so if the customer didn't get the deal, they still have to pay.
You have to pay.
Yeah.
It's like
that's a good deal for shopkeeper.
It's like, okay, you get 25% off if you could beat me in boxing. All right, and it's like, oh, I'll take that deal. That's fair. Okay, so anyhow, Boxing Day is what we celebrate in Canada, and in the UK, I believe also might be a what's the word I'm thinking of? A Commonwealth tradition. Do they celebrate in Australia? I don't know. And it's basically our Black Friday. So when growing up, we didn't actually have Black Friday. Black Friday probably only really came into like the Canadian mindset in the last like 10 or 15 years. But we would wait until Boxing Day to get the deals on all kinds of products. Everybody would have every store, the malls would be packed. Boxing Day, Boxing Day, Boxing Day. So, hey, I'm Canadian. We're gonna have Boxing Day at Tate and Yoko. Most Canadian retailers still promote Boxing Day. Now, usually it's on the 26th. Obviously, we have. Anyway, we're gonna be working, but we're gonna start it on. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna start it on the 21st. So 21st is the Wednesday. Usually have our 24-hour specials on Wednesday. So I won't do it like last time. Well, here's what I'm going to do. The email blast will probably go out around 10 a.m., 11 a.m., but the deals they're going to be done overnight. So if you're up late night on the 20th, into the early morning of the 21st, or you wake up early, the deals will be live. It's a lot of the same deals that went on for Black Friday. So if you missed out on something, you're going to be able to get those deals again. And so just be aware, we're going to have a little Boxing Day promotion starting on the 21st.
Yeah. The only thing I would add is, like, if you shop with us for, this week, this deal, please allow us some time to ship. It's not going to be a quick shipping kind of week.
Yeah. As of next week, the shipping is slow. Like, if you haven't put your Tati and Yoko order in by now, odds are it's not arriving before Christmas.
Right. So, and then, I mean, we will have, like, the Boxing Day is a holiday, so I think our customer service isn't going to be there.
No. I don't think anyone will be. No one will be in the office on the 26th.
The rest of the week, I mean, the office is open. You can call us and stuff too. But I mean, we're very short-handed during the week, as you can probably imagine. Yeah. So don't expect.
The next 2 to 3 weeks, there will be a little bit of slowdown for shipping. More so if you're requesting hemming, because a lot of orders are going to come in over the Boxing Day promotion. And so
you don't have enough people doing the hemming.
The factory is actually closed. We have some people coming in just to do hemming. So anyways, the next couple of weeks will be a little bit slower, but bear with us. Hopefully you got some other jeans and other stuff to keep you busy during Christmas. So it'll just be a little extra Christmas surprise in the early new year. Anyways, we'll do our best as always to get everything out as quickly as possible. Just bear in mind. Bear with us. Bear in mind. Bear with us with that. Game Grabs writes, we have it here in Australia too. Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm. Good to know.
Now, Game Grabs, answer me this. Does my theory on fighting the shopkeeper, does that hold up in Australia? Is that what people, has that anyone ever come up with that thought? And if they haven't, please tell everyone that this is
spread the gospel.
Spread the gospel. It started in Canada, actually. It was a Canadian tradition.
I wonder why it only spread to countries that.
Because us Canadians, there's Irish, English heritage, and they started it in Canada, right? And then some people went back to the UK and started demanding from the shopkeepers that they abide by this tradition, and
only the countries that were ruled by
because they like to visit each other, and it spread, like everyone loved it. Everyone loved it so much. This idea that one day a year, it's like the purge for shopping, and you get to work out your frustrations. But amicably, at the end,
it's a fair fight.
It's a fair fight, and we shake hands at the end. Right. It's no retaliation. We respect the decision. Winner is the customer. Okay, you get the deal. Great, you hug. We're done. Okay, you could take a photo. Great, it's good. Just a good old tradition. Okay, somebody asked a funny. I thought it was a funny question. Bahzad, did you work your way up? Bahzad, did you work your way up to? Did you work your way up to your position at Naked Famous? Did you need higher education? I worked my way up in the sense that I was the first employee at Naked Famous Denim. So everything that needed to be done had to be figured out, and I was just the guy who was there to figure it out. But that said, I was the guy who was there to figure it out because I had been working in the apparel industry for several years before that, and that's how I met Brandon through working. I worked at Diesel. I worked at Holt. I worked at Diesel at Holt Renfrew. We had a shop there. Sold a lot of jeans. That's how I met Brandon. Obsessive about jeans. I still am. Did I need higher education? Barely finished high school. So I don't think for what I do I needed it, but for some people it might be useful. But my personal belief is if you're passionate about what you want to do, like I'm not talking like at least in apparel world, you could probably figure it out doing the job just as well as going to school.
I think that that, I mean, every situation is different, but there's a reason why some people who go to the top of, whatever field is or company has, say like, oh, this guy didn't go to college, or this guy didn't dropped out from college, or whatever. Like, you hear that because you are hearing some, because that's out of the norm, and you hear that about that a lot. But in general, I think in life, some people don't take this exact same steps as everybody else, but it just, it works out. I think hard work and, a little bit of intelligence would get you way further than like just relying on, clicking those check marks. Like, I graduated from college, I applied for a job, blah, blah, blah. It's,
work ethic is everything. I mean, even this year alone, I don't think we took a day off. Like, even days off, there was still work that we, like, there's literally not been a day in 2022 where we didn't work.
Yeah.
Not one day. We haven't taken a vacation. And even when we went on vacation, we still worked at night. Like,
yeah. With that said, I think it's not really about how many hours you put in. I think it's about how much you care about your job, and the job allows you to care, and allows you to like if the job requires a certain things, they would definitely could use more the person who care more and work harder than people who have better college degrees. Like, it's a very simple thing. Some people don't even get to the door because you don't have a degree and stuff like that. So that is a consideration. But once you're in a work environment, you work hard, and you get further than the paperwork would ever get you.
I'm also lucky that in my work experience, I mean, I started working from, I was in like 6th grade delivering newspapers. So like, just having a strong work ethic from like physically, like, man, delivering newspapers at 5 o'clock in the morning in the Canadian winter that was a child's job, and I was that guy doing it. That's crazy. Anyways, but like, through all the jobs I always had, I seem to have found and been around very strong people who I could learn from. Right. So I had great sales trainers. I don't know, one company I worked for, we had sales trainers who come in and teach you how to sell. And like, I wasn't even a good salesperson at this point, but the fact that there was somebody coming in teaching us, the mentality of like how to treat a customer and how to, go through this interaction properly. And I remember one of my managers at Holt Renfrew, her name was Davina, and she was unbelievable. She was incredible. She was very hard on me. One of the hardest managers I ever had on me, but I learned so much from her. And I just remember simple things like, and I was young. I wasn't like a pro yet. And I remember just sometimes, it's a Wednesday evening and it wasn't busy. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. Like, I'm just, hanging around the counter." She's like, "Well, go and do something." And I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" She's like, "Go to that shirt wall." And we'd have a wall of all the different dress shirts we have. And she's like, "For every shirt that we have," and we had hundreds of shirts, "go to the tie table and find 3 ties that match every shirt." And it was just that mentality of like, she's like, "The reason why you do this is because when a customer comes in and you're showing them that shirt, you need to be able to show him 3 ties that match with that shirt immediately. Not, oh, let's take a look at this shirt and let's go over to this tie table and oh, what about this one? I'm not sure." No, you show them with confidence. She showed me how to wrap the tie around my hand, make that knot so it looked like a tied knot, show it up with the shirt, then go and bring it to some suits. And you can show that customer be 100% prepared for the customer when they come in, because you don't want to dilly-dally and, if you're in that position, the customer has no confidence in you, right? Well, not no, but, you want them to understand immediately that you are a professional. So just all of those things, that I've learned throughout the years just kind of prepared me for where I am today. So it's not that like there's no education. It's just my education came from working the floor. And anyways, I enjoyed the floor.
I think in this field, education isn't as, much of a commodity as people may say.
Yeah. If you're a buyer, I would say that maybe because there's buyer math and all that stuff that's necessary.
Yeah, but even that, like a lot of that could be learned as experience. Yeah. Experience is very important. Work ethic is certainly important, and I'm this might be a rude thing for me to say, but I think these days, like if you have a good work ethic, you can make up for a little bit of a lack of knowledge or background or whatever, because your competitors, just in general, they don't have as good of a work ethic as a lot of people did back even a few years back.
Sorry to make that generational gap.
But it's true. It is really true. We see that every day, and a lot of the times, like we. I think a lot of the companies are the same. Like we kind of experience that. Like, okay, like this person has all of the things that we need for the job, and we hire them, and they don't care about the work. And it's like, you know what? I would much rather hire that person who's like excited for work than a person who might know everything about them.
Yeah, for me, like getting started, I'm like I'm around denim, like working the sales floor and selling jeans, and then you have these brand reps that would come in. Sometimes the owners of the brands would come in, and you're just like, for me, that was like meeting celebrities. I was like, this is amazing. Like, you get to make this stuff. That's so cool. And like, I had no experience in wholesale, except for like my experience was being on the other end of it. Like, when I was at Diesel, I would have to replenish the shop. So I'm talking to my rep at Diesel all the time. And so I understand that aspect of it. So just go on the other side of it and be the guy who's like, communicating with retailers, seeing what their needs are and trying to fulfill those needs. But even beyond that, developing the products for that. So like I could take my knowledge of, these retailers are feeling like, there's a gap here in the market, or there's something here that could be done. Snap, make it happen. So that's pretty cool. And then, just getting the rush of like the products that you make are in stores, they're being worn by people. Like, for me, that's very satisfying. It's very, it keeps me going.
I also remember the idea of like just I think this idea is really like fading away these days, is that like the fact that you can like work in a field that you are generally interested in or you like is a gift. Like most of our parents' generation, they just like the job not because they're interested in it, because it pays the bills. And like we're fortunate enough to like work in the field, make money off of the field that we like, and that's just amazing. But a lot of people don't have that. That's a given. Like to younger people, that's a given. And
so if you want to get into the apparel industry, just find a local store that carries the kind of products that you like. Start working there, and from there you will make relationships. I mean, working at a store, working up, becoming the manager, like becoming the buyer, like those are all things especially in a small business, those are all things that you can become from literally just getting your foot in the door and just showing interest. If you work at a retail store and you're like, well, we don't have somebody who's in charge of like all the social media and like creating all the content and, making videos, you can just become that if you talk to your boss about it. Say, hey, I see that we can do this, that, and the other thing. Can I take a swing at it? They're going to tell you yes. Because they know that they're missing that and they don't have a person for it. So now you're there. Yeah. You're the guy.
Yeah. So Salsa writes, I see the work ethic issue returning to college at nearly 30. The majority of the students are on their phones, headphones, not putting effort into class. It takes me so little effort to stand out. Yeah, and I think it's the same in the work environment too. Like, just show a little bit of like an interest or excitement or, you know, willingness to work a little harder than bare minimum. You will stand out, and you will that will get you somewhere eventually. Not right away, but continue that. And
all you definitely. Like for the current young generation, all you have to do is be a little bit better, like a little bit better than the next guy. That's it. Show interest. Be there on time. Look, you want a real pro tip that requires so little effort, but will be like you're the shining star. Show up 10 minutes before everyone else and leave 15 minutes after. You could literally do nothing. I'm not even joking.
Nothing.
You could literally look at the wall. Just if you're there first and you leave last, everyone will just think you're a superstar.
It's that like Seinfeld episode of George leaving the car.
Just leave your car in the parking lot.
And no, I mean that's the next situation, but it is true that like just a little bit of effort like that, or saying something like, if you need that done today, I will stay, 5 minutes or 10 minutes to finish that. That is just like impressive.
Because you know why it's impressive? Because nobody does it anymore. Yeah. And even if I were to allude to the fact that this employee is doing that because they're trying to like impress me, I would even think that, hey, at least he's trying to impress me. I don't even care if you do nothing. The fact that you are smart enough to be like, oh, I can really get ahead if I just show that I'm trying to do something.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah. No. I mean, the advice is do the best job that you can. And on top of that, do those little things. Yeah. But the little things makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I also really love this comment.
What is it?
Ferdinand says, I climbed the ranks of my store at my store by beating up customers every Boxing Day.
That's how you do it. Yeah. When you win the Boxing Day match, you don't have to give up the deal. So you're a good employee for doing that. Shane Delahanty, I earned Employee of the Quarter in October due to my work ethic, and I can guarantee you that I can guarantee you that only like 10% of my coworkers work hard enough to possibly earn that. Not bragging, just being realistic. There's no question about that. I think the producers of the world really, especially now, see how much their value is compared to the people who ride their coattails. Yeah. Look, not everyone is going to be a producer. That's just the way it is. The producers produce. But if you are in that, if you want to get ahead, you have to become a producer. That's just the way it is. And
you just have to care
you have
a little.
Right.
The lack of care in this world is amazing. Like, I feel like maybe like people think that like that they're the commodity, because you're getting money from a company that you're like worth something. Sometimes like we just need a body to fill.
Sometimes
and that's
you're
so
actually
replaceable.
The support staff for the producer.
Yeah. It's just like try to be a little irreplaceable. I guess.
That's it. Try to be irreplaceable. BD, I remember a boss was really impressed. I showed up 15 minutes early to start on time. Didn't tell him it was due to my bus being early due to the route. I just took the credit. Absolutely. No, exactly. It really, I'm like, these days it takes little to nothing to impress your boss, because something like that is so out of the ordinary that it's like, holy cow. It really is.
You didn't, you got there 15 minutes early. You didn't, sit in the parking lot and just killed 15 minutes. No, you just went in because you were there. Yeah, right. That's the difference you're kind of comparing these days.
When you're off at 6 and your jacket is on at 5:45,
not a good look.
It's not a good look. Don't do that. You might even, let me put it to you this way, just from my, days of, working under Davina, if you got nothing to do, you can find something to do. If she would see us chatting, she'd be like, if you can chat, you can fold, right? Fold something. Go rearrange something. Like, look busy. At the very least, when a customer comes in, they don't think that they're disturbing you because you're chatting with your coworkers, right? If you're busy, you're looking busy, hey, they see you're working. Like, people don't like it when they, when you walk into a store and you see somebody just standing behind the counter like this, it's not a good look. Hey, I'm folding stuff. Oh, hey, how can I help you? What can I do for you today? That's how you should be,
Brainstar, I've had bosses be impressed with me because I brought a notebook and a pen to meetings.
And I took notes for myself.
The bar seems low. Yeah, the bar is getting lower. I have to say.
I'm going to speak for Brandon in this point because he said this in multiple interviews when he's talked about me. And he's like, how did you find Bahzad? And he's like, Bahzad would show up to product knowledge sessions on his days off. I would come to Holt Renfrew. Bahzad lived an hour away. He would come in at 8 a.m. While I did my product knowledge seminar, he came in with a notebook and a pen, and he was writing everything down. And you know why I was writing everything down? Because I was a denim nerd, and here I am talking to the guy who's making all the Japanese selvage denim that I love, and I'm just like, I'm learning from the forums, and here all of a sudden I've got the guy, he's telling me the answers. And I'm all the stuff that I was wondering about, he knew. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. And Brandon had said to me, I look at this kid who comes in, he brings me his jeans to show. I was right. I was only a year younger. But he's like, here's this guy who's coming in and he's genuinely interested. Like, obviously that person stands out. Like
the interest and care and just a positive attitude also. It's just like, don't act like you know everything and you have like all the things that you want somewhere else. No, just be hungry.
Yeah.
Like
the amount of notebooks I hand to our staff, probably a lot. How many of them get used? I don't know, but I'm a big believer in notebooks. I hand out notebooks to everybody. We
used to get free notebooks all the time. We have like a pile of them.
I have stacks of them. And
I mean, there is like, you can take notes on your phone, whatever. But like, there is a just kind of, like, to be fair, you could just be even like, like the quality of note you're taking really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just that the care, you care enough to take notes. Right.
It's big. So anyway, those are small tips that will get you very far. If you're not taking those notes, you're not coming in early, just try it for a while. You'll be surprised of like how much things like that get noticed. I mean, I would definitely notice that. All right, let me know. Let me hear more of your stories. I think it's kind of interesting that a lot of people are feeling the same way. Okay. Carl Morawski's in the house. Welcome to the live stream, Carl. Good to see you here. Cheers and happy holidays, my friends. Cheers and happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Too.
Oof, it's that time of the year, and we have to.
Yeah. Speaking of Boxing Day, Chris Noel writes, if you hear someone going into the New York City store this weekend challenging the staff to a fight, it wasn't me.
That's New York City store.
Yeah, it's America.
Yeah, so the rule doesn't apply. They don't have to give you discounts for.
That's it. We're gonna have a Boxing Day deal anyways at New York City, but you don't have to fight for it. That was just how the tradition started. Now we've moved beyond that.
Oh, we got past.
Yeah, we got past. That's how it started. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's how Boxing Day began.
Back in the days when violence was accepted, that's what we did.
Yeah. But now we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So we just offer it as a goodwill and a tradition, and we remember the good old days of how it started, right? The good old days. Okay. Brian H. Got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Right.
That's it. Absolutely.
That is a good thing.
Always be folding. That was just always fold. That denim, man, my denim wall was immaculate. Just unbelievable. You have no idea the amount of time I would spend folding that denim wall. It was, I would say you could eat off that wall.
Yeah.
But it was every jean was perfectly folded, sized. It was incredible. I spent a lot of time folding. All right. Okay. Everybody, we're gonna get into that time of the stream. I don't have a snack. unfortunately.
I have a snack.
Reese's got a snack. All right, good. So Reese is gonna find a snack for us. All right. I don't know what it is, so we're gonna find out. What do you got?
I'm excited for this.
Oh, what is that?
This is a black stick of potato snacks.
What is it?
It's black snack. I like food that is black.
Okay.
Because I think it's just like, it doesn't have the like appeal of like nice vibrant colors like red, green. Those things look delicious.
Yeah.
Black is the opposite of that.
So
and I like
it looks like a charcoal stick.
Yeah.
Is that truffle?
It's black truffle flavored. Jagariko is like a kind of like a fried potato snack. It's very crunchy.
Okay.
You want to start with the snacks?
Yeah, we'll start with the snack.
Okay. Oh yeah. It's not looking delicious.
So it's kind of like a French fry, but
yeah,
it is a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe like a freeze-dried potato fried.
If you look at this, you would assume that this would taste like squid ink
or charcoal. It looks like a charcoal stick.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Smells a little truffly.
Yeah, it's truffly.
It's truffly.
Yeah.
These are all right. If you like truffle, these will probably be.
This is good. It's a good like wine snack.
I was gonna say it's a good train snack. If you're going on like the Shinkansen, you're going for like a 3-hour train ride. It's a good snack to have on the train. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not offensively truffle.
It's not offensively. It doesn't really punch you in the face. With
it does have flavor. That, like, whatever.
That
if you
richness.
don't like truffles, I don't recommend it, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a solid block of licorice inside. No. It's just like a very fried item.
Yeah. Jagariko is like... That was a product of, I think, early 2000s, maybe late 90s, and this is just like... When it came out, it was such a... a popular snack. I think it still is.
Just a regular salt version of this would be great. I've had those. Those are good. Yeah.
They have so many flavors now, but they continue to make those.
The fact that it's black is pretty cool. Also, it just looks cool.
I like black food.
All black. Got the black snacks. Looks good. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So
recommend.
I would recommend. Probably a limited time item though.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you gotta get it while you can. Come to Japan and visit us. And what?
I remember when Jagariko started. That was back when I was still watching TV, and on TV there was a commercial for Jagariko when they released them. And it was just like people eating them like really fast, like a bunny style, like.
Yeah.
And then we all tried to do that, and it's very difficult.
Jagariko. All right. We'll have to find that commercial.
Oh,
look it up. Okay.
Nostalgia.
Christmas movie. Somebody in the chat wrote, Bahzad, what is the best Canadian movie and why is it Black Christmas? Is that the best Canadian movie?
I like that question. What is the best Canadian movie?
I don't know.
Why is it Black Christmas?
Black Christmas is a good movie.
Have I watched that?
I don't know. It's a horror movie.
Oh,
as the title might suggest.
I'll Google it.
Many of you guys know Scream is it my favorite? It's up there. I really love the Scream series. I like the phone call situation. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Black Christmas certainly inspired that. So watch Black Christmas. It is a Christmas movie because it takes place during Christmas. It is Canadian. I think some people consider it to be the first slasher movie. I don't know. That's a tough distinction, but if you're into horror and Christmas, Black Christmas is something you should watch. It's a little slow paced. It's one of those 70s kind of films. The pacing is a little slow for me, especially if you're used to more modern movies, but it definitely has the creep factor, and the ending is
Did they remake it in 2019?
Would not surprise me. BD, the trailer for Scream 6 just dropped, filmed in Montreal, right? I saw a little bit of that, and yes, it was filmed in Montreal. Had nothing to do with it. But it's kind of cool. You know what else was filmed in Montreal? John Wick 2.
Yes. That was like so much of it was Montreal. It was almost all Montreal.
Not only was it all Montreal, it was all literally around our apartment. Like, spitting distance from our apartment was so many scenes. And I didn't know that. And we're watching the movie, and I'm like, that's just literally out the window is where they shot that.
Yeah.
And
we get a glimpse of St. Catherine and all that stuff in a lot of movies. So we're used to that. It started with that. Yeah. And then it came and it's like, that's also Montreal. That's also Montreal. That's also around the corner. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Junior, Scott Pilgrim is my favorite Canadian movie. That's a good one also. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's supposed to be Toronto?
It is Toronto. And not only that, just that time, that era, Sonic Boom, where that second cup is, there's, I think you go to a pizza. Anyways, that whole area around, where Honest Ed's is, and Lee's Palace, I used to hang out there a lot, especially during that time. So watching that movie is very nostalgic for me. Sonic Boom, I used to go there a lot. I used to buy posters off the wall. They had all these posters on the wall you could buy. And obviously, I bought a lot of movies there. I didn't buy as much music there as one would imagine, but I still they moved the Sonic Boom. It's in Chinatown now, and we go there every time we can. Sonic Boom, good place. But anyways, that wasn't my Christmas movie recommendation. Black Christmas wasn't. My recommendation is this one. Another a fellow Canadian. We got Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, who is American, but. Trading Places, if you've never seen this one, it's a good one. It's not Christmassy. It takes place during Christmas, but a hilarious comedy. And 1983 this came out. The year I was born. So definitely you should watch this. You should. It's funny. It's literally
about money.
It's about money. Dan Aykroyd is this Wall Street guy, and Eddie Murphy is I don't remember if he was homeless or if he was just destitute. I haven't watched it in a while. But basically these two rich guys are oh, I could turn anybody into a millionaire. This guy isn't, special. And so they kind of create this situation where Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd kind of switch life roles. And you can see who prospers in what situation. And it's interesting in that respect. And then, hilarity ensues. And it is a very, very, very good movie. You should watch this. Yeah.
All right. We'll watch it. I don't think I've ever watched it.
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a classic cheese. Yeah. Krampus also. That's another horror Christmas special for you. And what Jack Frost? I don't know if that's Christmas. Well, anyways, Killer Snowman. There's some bad sequels also. Bad as in bad good, but Mike Knight. My dad liked that movie. He liked Richard Pryor a lot. Yeah, what's not to like about Richard Pryor? Okay, everybody, we're gonna leave it there.
Before you go, if you could like this stream, that would be nice. Christmas present.
Yeah. Before you head out, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. You got to be a subscriber. Next week, next live stream, we're going to do some giveaways. You must be a subscriber. Must be. So hit the subscribe button. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button because you like this. You love this video. Really, it should be a love button, not just a like button. But we'll leave it there, everybody. Have a good weekend. Check out the new stuff on Tati and Yoko.
Right.
Follow us on our socials. And do something nice for somebody.
Yep. Call your mom.
Yeah. Call your mom. Tell her you love her.
Always.
That's it. Okay.
All right.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching.